Welcome to Live, life-inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. Several years ago, I was getting a coffee in my favorite local coffee shop, Duo's, now called Think Well, here in Waverly. At the counter was a little box with a daily question. I read it aloud to the barista, Nellie, and it said, "What is something you have lost that you wish you could find?" She knew immediately. She replied, My dad gave me a small knife after I graduated from high school. I set it down on a rock by the river during a hike. I forgot it there and have always wished I could find it." I told her I had a favorite silver earring I lost in a hotel in Storm Lake. I have thought about that interesting question many times since. At Christmas time this year, I drooled once again over a lovely pink depression glass bowl and plate that my mom has had for a long time. I asked if I could have that someday. In Mom's generous fashion, she said, "Take it now." I was ecstatic. Well, I thought I packed it. I thought I brought it home. But I realized the other day it was nowhere to be found in my house, and it's not in hers anymore either. One thing I learned from my mom is that things are things. We can lose so much energy by ruining the things we have lost. Ruminating over them can make us sad and make the item more important than a tangible thing should be. I lost another thing this year, my Robert Redford hat. Many of you do not know who Robert Redford is, but he was a handsome and debonair movie star of my era. I saw him at the Museum of Art in Washington, D.C. about 7 years ago. I went up and I talked with him and found it memorable. So I bought a hat in the gift shop of the museum and have called it my Robert Redford hat ever since. It was dear to me. Well, it disappeared this fall, too. Hope I find it someday in the company of that beautiful pink dish and plate that I got from my mom. So the whole point of this conglomerate of stories of loss is to remind us to treasure those memories, but don't worship the items of which make up those memories. I remember having a pair of pajamas a lady made for me when I was only 4 years old. When we moved here 13 and a half years ago, we were really downsizing before making the move. While packing, I talked to my mom about that old tattered pair of pajamas I had hung on to for 50 years. She said, "Just take a picture of it and throw it away." Throw them away, actually, not the picture. So I did. Guess what? I haven't looked at that picture once since. I don't even know where I could find it now. But I do remember taking the picture and having that memory in my mind. Guess what else? It's enough. So let's reframe the original question. What have you lost that you wish you could find? Is there a relationship or an attitude or a characteristic that you have had in the past that you wish you could regain? Ponder that. What relationships have you let slip as you have moved in different circles or not forgiven or not nurtured? Are you lonesome for them? What if you just made the contact? Think how refreshing that would be and meaningful for the friend or family member. I have a relative in mind who I will pledge to reach out to this week. Will you? It feels good to find a lost thing of that kind of value. What attitude or characteristic of yourself have you lost, let slide, or completely turned from? Are you more angry, more unforgiving? Are you stonewalling anyone, which means refusing to speak to? Are you less grateful and polite to people in stores or places of business? Are you more calloused when talking about some people in the lounge at your place of business or at school, coffee clutches, meetings, or around the dinner table? Do you want to regain or find that better you? I recently listened to the book The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Margareta Magnusson. It's about clearing out unnecessary belongings. Now I have a swath of items on my counter to be generously given away or brought to the local thrift store. Those things were enjoyed for a time, but hold no special meaning or value anymore, so losing them to others will be freeing. I'm also reading a book suggested by my friend Pastor Shaw called The Keeper of Lost Things. It's about a man who rescues objects misplaced or left behind. His goal is to reunite them with their owners. I'm not finished reading it, so I cannot tell you a wonderful metaphor. But losing treasures can be heartbreaking. As I reflect on those 50-year-old pajamas, I still distinctly see them in my mind, as I can the darling depression glass bowl and plate and my Robert Redford hat. I don't need them as much as I need the mental image to bring me joy. So, in this world of consumerism, materialism, and clutterism, it's important to know that the mental images or memories are the true treasures. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, "Treasure the memories." Join me next Monday for Live, Life-Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.